how's it going everyone? Welcome to DoublePebble, and by this time that you have seen this video, I probably is in camp now, army camp. But anyway, today we are not doing FO3, we are doing FO4, and the reason I'm doing that is because when we finally get our server and all of us port over to FO4, which is inevitable in my opinion, when you guys are starting this game, you have a lot of questions on who are the good players. That is when I would have built up a nice little library of reviews for FO4 that you guys can use, rather than doing it when we have our own server. That is when there is no review or there are very little review. So hopefully this will help us when we have our own server. Alright, so today we are going to be looking at another very important player in my team, S17 current season Roberto Firmino. Now when I was in Korea server, right, many Koreans were using him and he really scored a lot of goals against me. So I was very excited when I packed him a couple of weeks ago. And we will start by looking at his stats. As you guys can see, my FO4 is now currently in English. Almost everything is in English, of course not perfect. So let's now look at his stats. Overall, he is not very high, 77 striker, 78 winger. Not the fastest player, 73 sprint, 73 accelerations. Finishing is pretty good, I would say. Not the best finisher, of course, 79 finishing. Shot power is also not that good. Long shot is not that good as well. The main selling point is his positioning, 81. Volley is 76. His penalty is ridiculous. His short pass and visions are not bad, making him like a playmaker. And then his crossing is very bad, so that might affect the winger. And long pass, free kick, shot curve not that good. Dribbling, ball control are good because he's Brazilian. Agility is decent, balance is there, reaction is very good as well, 80. Not very good, but good enough because ultimately he's a striker. And then his strength is okay lah, 75 is not bad, at least can take some damage. Stamina is good, we know that. Aggression, jump is okay, and self-control, basically this is composure, also very important because composure means he will not crack under pressure, like scuff his shot, that kind of thing. Okay, we'll look at his price. He's currently 319k, which is considered quite expensive in FO4. So we'll now go over to the in-game analysis to see if he is worth the BP. Okay, quite a few things to talk about. The first thing is that Firmino is a little bit like Karim Benzema in the sense that his biggest selling point is also his positioning. Now this is so important in FO4 because as a player with bad positioning or a player with a bow of positioning that is not suitable to your gameplay will cause you to lose a lot of games, and I personally experienced that a lot. So for Firmino, he seemed to always be at the right place at the right time in the box when he's at a striker. But most importantly, right, as a cam, he's always on the move into open space, making passing angles so that you can find a out ball. So that is so important for a cam. Likewise on the wings, he always seemed to make the right decision, whether to run in behind, whether to come in deep, whether to cut inside, to always be available in space. So that, to me, is a very important trait in FO4 because it's so difficult to move around and you need players who are clever on the pitch to help you make space. Finishing is actually pretty good because after all he's a striker, so you would expect him to put away chances frequently. His low driven shots are generally good, but although sometimes he will still scuff his shots once, so that is a little bit frustrating. Dribbling and ball control are good, which is again now super important in the final third as spaces are limited, movement are more sluggish. Bad ball control can mean getting tackled easily or losing a shot opportunity, especially when there is now the driven pass. So if you drive a pass into him and he has bad ball control, most likely he'll lose control of the ball. So that is so important to have good ball control now in FO4. Vision is also good, which means that when he spots a gap in the final third, right, he can thread a true pass through. This is also once again very important now in FO4 because in FO3 the vision stats is not so obvious, but in FO4 you really can feel the difference between, let's say, a David Silva and a Jesse Lingard who doesn't have that good of a vision. So it's quite obvious. For Firmino, his vision's not bad, so his assist making is quite good. He's got the technical dribbler trait as well, so you can find this information in FIFA Addict, which is important for a cam. Technical dribbler, from what I know, means that he can dribble better when it is a slow style of dribbling, so it's more like a face-up dribbling or a non-sprint dribbling kind of style. He is better at that, and that is also very important for Cam. For winger, I think the speed dribbler is more important. Weakness, he's actually only got one very big glaring weakness, and that is the lack of pace. So as a striker, I feel that the lack of pace and especially the lack of acceleration hurts him, because sometimes he has problem outpacing the defender, or he has problems staying in front of the defender. So that might be a little bit of an issue when he is as a striker or as a winger. So for winger, quite obvious, you need pace. So that might be a little bit of an issue. Overall, I would give him a 7 out of 10 or like a 6.8 out of 10, because he is an average player. Let's get things right. He scores a lot of goals, yes, but he's still slightly above average. Okay, he's the sort of players that can play in many positions. So I've played him in striker position, cam, and winger, 3 positions. But I personally feel that his skill sets are more suitable for the cam role, since it doesn't require as much pace as a striker or a winger. Plus, he has good shot passing and vision, which will allow him to create chances from the whole position, which is the number 10. And since he has that striker instinct, right, he would still get into the box to score. Trust me, you will feel the difference between a Firmino, a more attack-minded cam, and maybe Oscar, who doesn't score that much goals. Plus, he has the technical dribbler trait, which would allow him to wiggle out of trouble in the final third. Lastly, is he worth it? Now, at 351k, right, in the Thailand server right now, it is considered quite pricey, to be honest. And I would say he is actually not that worth it at that price. Although he is good at cam, there are actually cheaper and much better options in that position, which I'll talk about in the next few FO4 review. Alright, and that is all I have for this FO4 review. Hope you guys enjoy, and in time you will find it helpful as and when you come over to join us in FO4. Do hit the subscribe button for more FIFA Online content, and don't forget to check out our Facebook fan page as well, DoublePebble. The link is in the description box, and I'll see you next time.